I'd like to welcome everybody to the Delaware County Commissioners meeting. It's Monday, August 20th, 2018. The time is 9:02. Everybody can stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Steve, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Henry.
Here.
Ms. Reagan.
Present.
Mr. King.
Here.
Mr. Brooks.
Here. Move down to approval of minutes for August 6, 2018.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Steve, can you call the roll, please?
Ms. Reagan.
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes. Next, we have a presentation. Mr. Barry Ritter with, morning.
Good morning. Good morning. A couple of weeks ago, Commissioners, you and the County Attorney received an addendum to your contract to AT&T for 911 services. And this was for an extension of the contract that expired August 1st of this year, taking the county to a month-to-month payment obligation for continued service and support. I've been working with Paul, with the county attorney, as we look at renewing a contract with AT&T. There are a couple of items that have come into play that warrants the county signing this extension before signing a new contract. The first would be that as AT&T has been under contract with the State 911 Board, there's an obligation for AT&T to transfer some of the cost from the county over to the State 911 Board for part of your services. And they've been negotiating those terms, and I believe that in the near future we'll see that happen, which will pass that savings on to you, and that language will be in a new contract. The other is there are some federal grant dollars that have just recently been released that may trickle down to local government that we've taken advantage of under this new contract. So as we continue to work with AT&T, I recommend that you consider signing this month-to-month extension to give Paul and I and the attorney the opportunity to work through that for those savings.
If we sign this one, then are you looking for like a 2-year, 5-year contract with the new?
Well, we asked AT&T to provide us a 5-year option and a 10-year option, payment up front versus quarterly payments. We're reviewing those. In today's world of technology, I think that we would probably lean more towards a 5-year contract with a vendor.
Yeah, sounds good. I move that we adopt the extension as presented.
I'll second. I have had a chance to take a look at this, and it is appropriate on a month-to-month given what's going on at the state level.
Have a motion and a second. Steve, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks for your work on
Paul
that.
Barry, thanks for all your work. Next, we'll move the contracts and agreements for approval. The first one was the home ownership revitalization. This one, Ms. Leach asked if it would be pooled. I guess there was some contamination or something on the property.
Yeah, Nate Jones, Delaware County Veterans Affairs. Basically what had happened was in order to get these tests done, she had to get the advice from you guys that you guys would be willing to give that to her. They went out, had the environmental test done, and it is not going to pass for home building on that property. And so we're going to look for other properties to try to revitalize and put out there for some veterans to live in. So.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Nate.
Next, Bridge 268, bid acceptance.
This is a, you had bids open the last time, and Angie gave you a tabulation of the various bidders. The low bidder looks like it was HIS Contractors.
I'll make a motion, we accept that bid with HIS Contractors.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Steve, can you call the roll, please?
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes. Next, we have Bridge 268, agreement with HIS Contractors.
Yes, this is a contract for engineering services for Bridge 268. There is some funding available from Indiana American Water. The contract is for the consulting services, and I would take a look at this, would ask that the commissioners approve this.
I'll make a motion, we approve this contract for Bridge 268.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Steve, can you call the roll, please?
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes. Next, we have Indot County Bridge Inspection Contract.
This is a contract that the county enters into quite frequently for inspection of bridges. It's through the Indot program, and I think it has a $25,000 maximum on it, and I would recommend that the commissioners approve that.
I'll make a motion, we approve the contract. Indot.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Steve, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes. Next, we have Flatland Resources for the courthouse parking. I believe this is on the Washington Street side.
It is. This is for engineering service, Flatland Resources, to help come up with a design service that add parking on Main Street and Walnut Street along the courthouse.
I've been working with Angie on this. I know I was looking at some parking opportunities all around the courthouse. However, looks like our funds are only going to limit us to Washington Street side, so I'll approve this, or make a motion to approve it.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Steve, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes. Next, we have a contract for VA.
Nate Jones, Delaware County VA. Basically, the contract, we went through it. We are okay with what's in there thus far. We did have a few little changes that we had to make over the weekend that I do believe John and his team has looked at. But at this point, we would just ask for you to approve the contract and allow us to move forward with what we're trying to do.
Nate, can you explain what the contract's about?
So, in essence, for the last year, we've been fighting to get a grant for Ralph. His team had partnered up with us approximately about a year ago. And unfortunately, that grant was declined because of the different grading rules that were in there, and we were not aware of those grading rules. Long story short, we decided that it is imperative that we keep an education and employment specialist in our office to continue trying to help these veterans in this community get a little further down the road with their, whether it be employment, education, so on and so forth. And that's his specialty. That's what he has accreditations in, and so we just look forward to bringing him on board.
And we've been working on this for months.
Yes.
Talking to all the political individuals that have to do with this grant. This grant was actually applied for by Vincennes University, correct?
Yes, sir.
And so the grant has gone away. However, I'm hopeful there may be some state funding coming, hopefully. And this agreement, this contract will get us by, hopefully until then, at least till the end of the year. I think it's important that we keep Ralph and his educational part of the Veterans Affairs Office here and trying to help these veterans in any way we can. So I'll make a motion, we approve this contract.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Steve, can you call the roll, please?
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Thanks, Nate.
Thank you.
Ralph.
Thank you.
Next, we'll move to resolutions for approval. Resolution 2018-024, approving the declaratory resolution and amended economic development plan of the Delaware County Redevelopment Commission and approving order of the Delaware County Muncie Metropolitan Plan Commission.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brad Bookout with Delaware County Redevelopment Commission. I believe your legal counsel has had opportunity to review this and gives it a favorable recommendation. Happy to answer any questions. We've been before you in the past regarding this expansion, and all things are in place to continue.
You might tell them that it's already been passed by the Plan Commission.
That is correct. So this is subsequent follow-up approval per the Muncie Delaware County Plan Commission's approval of the plan amendment.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 2018-024.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Steve, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes. Next, we have resolution number 2018-025, authorizing the treasurer to establish a letter of credit for the county's participation in the underground storage tank insurance fund.
Commissioners, this is a resolution that has been requested by the treasurer. Indiana's Underground Storage Tank Fund is an insurance fund for private and public entities to participate to obtain insurance coverage for environmental hazardous conditions that may result from underground storage tanks. The county has some underground storage tanks. The highway department and this letter of credit, you can either buy an insurance policy or a letter of credit. Letter of credit's $15,000, but it doesn't mean that you actually have to have $15,000. I think the treasurer got the price down to about $250.
That's correct.
From one of the local banks, and that when that happens, or we have to pay the premium, if ever, then that $15,000 comes into play. So this particular resolution says if you're interested in approving a letter of credit, it'll cost $250, and you'll have the insurance protection for the underground storage tanks there at the highway department.
I'll make a motion we approve resolution 2018-025.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Steve, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Thanks, Ed.
Next, we'll move to department heads and elected officials.
Oh, you have one more, don't you?
We got thank
26.
2018-26.
Oh, no. Resolution 2018-026, resolution of Board of Commissioners to the County of Delaware, Indiana, of a final determination concerning vacant parcels not sold in a tax sale.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tax Sale Deputy Janet Kessler. On the resolution, there's 17 properties that we're looking at. We've received applications for all of them, and we're just looking for your approval. We do have one property, 2410 South Pershing, where we have 2 applicants, and we need to have a drawing.
You want to do that before?
The applicants are Phyllis Oliphant and Rodney Kiger Jr.
Phyllis Oliphant.
Phyllis Oliphant is the winning applicant.
I move we adopt resolution 2018-026.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Steve, can you call the roll, please?
Ms. Reagan.
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now we'll move to department heads and elected officials. Robert Jesse.
Good morning, Robert Jesse, Delaware County Highway Department. These are vehicles that are no longer in use, and I'm here to ask for your approval to put them in the auction.
looking good, aren't they? Bet the guys really appreciate them. I move we adopt this
You
suggestion.
declare these to be surplus, so they can be sold?
Surplus. Be sold.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Steve, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Have you notified the auditor and Jenny about taking these off the insurance too?
Yeah, I think they've been all the insurance.
Or have they?
for a while.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Any other department head or elected official? We'll move to monthly and weekly reports from Weights and Measures. Have I received that?
Yeah.
So payment of claims in amount of $1,853,916.74.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second for payment of claims. Steve, can you call the roll, please?
Ms. Reagan.
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes. Next, we'll move to public comments. Morning, Jason.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jason Zanetti, 228 North Vine Street, Muncie, Indiana. Today, I'm speaking to you as a citizen regarding the Delaware County Jail proposal. I would like to suggest that Commissioners consider having an opportunity for public input, similar to what you've done with the Mounds Lake Reservoir, as well as with the CAFO proposal, allowing the community to come and share their concerns about the current proposal to move services out to Wilson and build a new jail. From people I've talked to, there's a lot of concern about the impacts that could have potentially on downtown. I know you've heard those concerns. Also, there's some concerns that I have about not really seeing a plan for rehabilitation to help reduce the low-level drug offenses that are causing some overcrowding issues in the jail. And as someone who has personally been affected by addiction in my family, and as well as friends and other people in the community, I just think it would be really important for commissioners to consider some sort of long-term rehabilitation program as a part of this plan for the future of what's being affected. I think it's clear that the epidemic that we're being faced with is a public health crisis and concern and calls for immediate attention. And I personally think that incarceration is not the answer to a lot of the issues we're dealing with as far as rehabilitation and drug addiction. So I would just like to suggest that there be an opportunity for people in the community to kind of share some of those concerns about this plan and proposal, because it's such a significant plan for the future of our community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I will tell you, Jason, we are looking into some type of rehabilitation. Been in contact with several companies looking into it. And also, it is part of the design that we're looking at, is some kind of rehabilitation. Like you stated, I've had several family members that have OD'd and died from the epidemic, the heroin epidemic that we have right now. So we are very concerned about that. And a lot of people don't understand that we took $100,000 last year out of our edit plan that we focused on addiction. You can contact Big Time Barbell. We helped them out quite a bit. I believe we gave them $30,000 last year to assist them with addiction. I believe there was a church also that we donated money out of the edit plan to help them buy a church bus to help get addicted people to where they need to go. Brianna's Hope, yeah. So we have been doing stuff. A lot of people don't understand because they don't come to the meetings, and it might not get out there a lot. But the commissioners, we are focused on helping with rehabilitation. So don't think that, I don't want people thinking we're pushing it off to the side. we are focused on that, and we are looking at that.
May I ask a question?
Yeah.
So so a part of the current plan and proposal, there is space and funds that will be allocated for rehabilitation at Wilson?
And that's what we're looking at right
That's
now.
what,
Yeah.
the spaces there, the funds haven't been.
Yeah.
But one program that we just heard about 6, 7 months ago, that Dearborn County's been having this program a couple of years, and it's called the JCAP, and where they can isolate 22 prisoners, and they're with a therapist for like 90 days. And they're in their own population, food must be brought into them, and we just don't have the space at this jail to, the sheriff.
It's- yeah,
It just
if-
wasn't possible.
If you talk to the sheriff, a lot of the programs, like I started working in the jail in 1994. We were able to have like NA programs, church, and different things. With the way the jail population is now, it's very hard because of classification to hold these programs. With a new facility, there will be room to where we can go back to having the programs for people with some type of an addiction. So, and those are what we are looking at.
Jails, we've been told numerous times that jails are only supposed to be 80% occupied. And that allows for the proper classification of inmates. Because our jail is way over 100% occupied, there's no way to classify these inmates for those programs. So we're hoping that we can do that.
And we'd also like to look at like a halfway house, you know, when a person gets released from prison, state prison, going back home is not always the answer, and some of them don't have a home to go back to, so we're looking at that possibility. Plus, a work release, you know, you just have to separate them from the two populations when they go out and come back in. And then we have just recently started, thanks to Community Corrections, the Muncie Mission is now holding some people there 30 days, and they will be able to go to work and come back. And it's going to be, it was tried before, I guess, a couple years ago, but it wasn't very successful because we were a little maybe lack in our vetting them when they came back from being at work. So this time, there's going to be someone that will make sure that they're clean when they come back. So that's a new program. I'm really excited, and the Muncie Mission's not even charging us anything for it. So there are some things happening, so.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
All right,
Thank you.
Anyone else?
I'm Stephen Shreve. I reside at 6424 East County Road 350 North. I'm asking you to please amend the ordinance regulating private sewage disposal or write a new ordinance so that the county health department cannot deny construction and operating permits for septic systems on tracts larger than 10 acres because the planned system is near an existing or planned sewer line. I live at 6424 East County Road 350 North, Muncie, Indiana, which is about a mile west of DeSoto. The sewer line that serves the town of DeSoto was installed past my house. My house is in the country and not a part of DeSoto's septic problem. According to measuring on the Beacon County, Delaware County website, the property next to my house to the east that is connected to the sewer is 1,890 feet from my property, and the property where the next house to the west that is connected to my sewer is 1,960 feet from my drive. The State General Assembly passed a law that a district may not require the owner of a property to connect to the district sewer system if, 1, the property is located on at least 10 acres, 2, the owner can demonstrate the ability of at least 2 areas on the property for collection and treatment of sewage that will protect human health and the environment, 3, the waste stream to the property is limited to domestic sewage from a residence or business, 4, the system used to collect and treat the domestic sewage has a maximum design flow of 750 gallons per day, and The owner, at the owner's expense, obtains and provides to the district a certification of the local, from the local health department or the department's designee that the system is functioning satisfactorily. My septic system was installed in probably, I think, in 1951 or 52, and is working properly, but does not meet today's code. I want to install a new system so I could qualify for the above described exemption and not be required to connect to the sewer that passes my house. The Delaware County Health Department denied my permit because my property is within 300 feet of a sanitary sewer or where sanitary sewer is being installed. So again, I ask please amend the ordinance regulating the private sewage disposal or write a new ordinance so that the county health department cannot deny construction and operating permits for septic systems on tracts larger than 10 acres because the planned septic system is near an existing or planned sewer line.
Commissioners, I'll take a look at this and give a response to you and to Mr. Shreve
Okay.
once I've had a chance to research this.
All right. Thank you, John. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Do I need to personally follow up in future meetings with this, or what?
Well, he'll,
I'll be in touch with you, okay?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Anyone else? If not, I'll entertain a motion to recess.
so moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. In recess.